cold cases to serial killers, missing persons, and more.
100% he did this.
I'd go off in the fantasy world.
How much more lucky can you get that you're not on death row?
You want to know what we know.
My name is Jay. This is Guilty of Crime.
What's up, everybody? It's Jay with Guilty of Crime. How's it going? Jennifer Soto, in my opinion, is guilty of crime. Lots of lies, lots and lots and lots and lots of lies in the interview that we're going to listen to together today. I know everybody's freaking out. What's up, yours truly? Everybody's freaking out, and that's why I'm here on a Sunday. I ditched out on the wife. My daughter, she's content. We went shopping yesterday, watched Beetlejuice. She got everything. She's happy in her room, chilling, playing games, playing with her stuff. We're good. All right. Happy Sunday. Everyone's freaking out. All right. We're going to address all of your things. And do me a favor, y'all. Hit the like button. Let's get me in the algorithm even more so I can get these files and get as much information as I can. I wrote you guys an essay on my community page to explain what immunity means for Jennifer Soto and what that particular immunity means. So we're going to go over that. We're going to go over some of the questions. We're going to go over Maddie possibly being pregnant, although it's not out there yet. We're just going to discuss what I talked about and what I wrote a freaking essay about. And yeah, let's do it. So immunity is derivative immunity, which I related to Carla Homolka. All right, so we'll get into that a bit. If you didn't read my essay, Amy Blue says, "Hi, Jay. First time catching you live. Thank you for sharing the info with us. I love your podcast." But what? Jen has immunity. All right, she has derivative immunity, which means if anything she says that she's lying about, they can dig into further. Derivative immunity doesn't mean that she has immunity forever. All right. It's not forever immunity. It means that this means anything she says in the interview, unless she lies, which we caught many lies that can be used against her, and they can find it, investigate it, and independently outside of the investigation, they could bring charges to her. We heard quite a few questionable statements in this interview. I know you guys have listened to it, and they would have to find the evidence on it. Police are trying to prove that Jenn Soto is either lying or, of course, not. Now, all the questions that the law enforcement asked Jenn were intentional. They would have been asked to clarify information they already had. And you guys saw that. You're going to see it again. I noticed Jenn Soto the law enforcement asked Jennifer Soto about Maddie's bowel issues that caused tears, and Jennifer Soto said no. Now, that's sad, but they must have found something in the autopsy report. They must have known about that. They must have seen the text messages that talked about, did you give Maddie Miralax? All right. I'll tell you, she's not the greatest witness. She is not, but keep in mind, Carla Homolka, she's a Ken and Barbie killer with Paul Bernardo. She got immunity, the same immunity that Jenn Soto got, and she lied. So they came back. They found a tape where she was involved in the essaying and the murder of her own sister. She performed oral on her sister, and then they killed her, and she got 12 years. She got 12 years, 2 manslaughter charges, and then after that, she got out and she got kicked out of Canada. You guys know the Ken and Barbie killers. You know Carla Homolka. She does not have full immunity. What's up, Em? How you doing? All right, if you guys want, do me a favor, hit that like. Please subscribe if you're new here and you haven't. Also share. Let me turn this on. Yeah, share if you can. I'm here today. I'm here on my day off to break it down for you people. I don't know what's wrong with people. The case I'm talking about is Carla Homolka. All right. So the immunity is just for that interview. Propher, fair, you're 110% right. And I'm going to show you today. I want to break it down for you. We're going to listen to the interview. It's not immunity for everything. He even said it. He called it himself. I mean, I'm not even going to say, I normally do shout out other creators, but really, I get so tired of having to tell people that something's incorrect or it's this way. I get tired of, I don't get tired of you all. I love you all, but getting 500 messages for people panicking because we hear that she's got immunity forever and never is going to be arrested. That's not true. All right. That's not true. Now, Carla lives in Montreal, has kids now. I have a link, but I don't want to take away from the Jennifer Soto case. I can put a link for the Carla Homolka case where she had an interview. She lied to the police. They said, no problem. No problem at all. Tell us everything you know. We're going to give you immunity. Go, come on, tell us. Oh, yeah, well, Paul did this, and Paul was essaying her, and Paul murdered her and dumped her here. Oh, tell us more. Tell us more. Oh, I'm going to tell you more. I'm going to tell you more. Well, you've got immunity. You can say whatever you want. Come on. Keep it coming. And she did. She did, and they trapped her. And guess what? Jail time, baby. Jail time. So, yeah, we know she's here. You guys, they tracked her. She went to her kid's school, and she was donating her time, and they said she's not allowed children. She's not allowed. Yeah, nobody wants Carla there, and nobody wants Jenn. All right. M. Shaw, what's up? All right. So someone also emailed me about this, and then I'll start playing it. I'll actually show you a few pictures, then I'll start playing it. I want to show you her attorney is. Jennifer Soto's attorney is not Juan Baez. Let's clear that up. I said I would once I knew. Now, Michelle Legrand, if you're here, thank you for emailing me about Maddie's menstrual cycle. Every first of the month, as of February, she got it, and then she stopped getting it. Even Carly, and I don't know if Carly's here, thought she was pregnant, but they haven't said that yet. So that's the reason that Michelle thinks that they might have called Stefan Sterns the night she went missing, but they asked Jenn, and Jenn said she didn't know in the interview, which we're going to listen to. All right. So let me pull up her attorney real quick so you guys know exactly who this guy is, exactly who's defending her. Yeah, all of these are a horrific case. What's up, Michelle Legrand? Thank you for emailing me. If you guys do email me information, I try to share it. I try to read it. I try to be transparent with you guys. All right. Jen's attitude after knowing what Stearns did was so blasé. You're right. That's another thing. She was laughing. This was April 18th. This attorney we're going to look at. She's laughing. Okay. She's laughing in the interview. She's not missing her daughter. She's not crying. She's not saying, oh, I can't believe this happened. All right. So this is her attorney. He's a criminal defense attorney, Matthew R. Barks, PA. All right. So this man is defending her. I don't know what's worse. Hold on. I don't know what's worse. I don't know my wife is asking for a code and I don't know. I don't have it. That's what happens on a Sunday. And M, prayers for Maddie. Absolutely. All right. Crime Crew, Sadie's mama, Melanie Copeland. Everything's a blur. I can't stand her. All right. Well, let's try to make it not so much a blur. And let's try to make it so that you guys understand that this does not mean that justice is not going to happen for Maddie. And Melanie says, give her the code, Jay. I don't have a code. But Halloween's coming. All right. I don't have a code. Arrest Jenn Soto. We can keep going on that because she only has this immunity that's derivative for this particular interview. Okay. So they want to intentionally ask her questions that they can catch her up on. And also now give us, come on, give us more. Now they can be detectives and go check those things. Now they know what to look for. All right. So this guy here, now you know this dude, he used to be a prosecutor. Now he's her defense attorney. It's not Jose Baez. All right. So this guy is going to manage their clients' anxieties, which is perfect for Jenn Soto and other needs as he builds relationship with them, which we're going to see here. He even stops the interview. All right. All right. I think it's a trick too. I just say, if you want to feel better, refer back to Carla Homolka, Homolko, Carla Homolka. I don't think it's a trick necessarily, but I think they need more evidence. And now I know a lot of people are saying that um a lot of people are saying other things, and someone's saying in here said cops call it Queen of the Day. Is it one interview, chance to snitch, and don't lie? It is a chance for her to snitch, and she's not doing it. Someone gave me the code. It's 8000. Oh, all right. Jose Baez needs to go too. Yeah, we're not having Jose Baez, and we're not giving her a forever pass. You could just look up Ken and Barbie Killers. I can look that up if you guys want me to, real quick. But I'm telling you who Bark Law is, Matthews Bark, and then I'll just show you. I'll show you so you guys know, and you can refer to me about the Carla Homolka case when you think about Jenn Soto and that immunity. Go watch this after. Go watch this. They gave this lady immunity. She told everything. Oh, boy, did she tell, guys. Boy, did she talk. Just like they're getting Jenn Soto to do. Oh, they talked. She talked. All right. So did Carla. She talked and talked and talked. All right. Off topic, but please, for me, Precious Cow was torn to pieces by Cody. Well, I want to say prayers for you, Ashley Valentine, and it's okay if you're off topic. We love you, and we say a prayer for you. I just ask that you guys hit that like button, subscribe, and if you can gift memberships today, any donations, any help, anything helps the channel, especially today on a day I don't work. All right, so let's go over this real quick. Carla Homolka got immunity as well. Ken and Barbie Killers, Vicious Reign of Terror. This is just substitute Stefan Sterns for Paul Bernardo and Carla Homolka for Jenn Soto. They look like normal newlyweds, but Ken and Barbie Killers murdered 3 people and essayed them, raped them, at least 14 in the late 80s, early 90s in Ontario, Canada. At first glance, Paul Bernardo and Carla Homolka certainly didn't seem like a pair of serial killers. They may have looked like normal young couple from the outside, but the Ken and Barbie Killers were anything but. But before Paul was behind bars for multiple murders, tortures, and rapes, he was a salesman by trade and lured his female victims in using pitches he learned by his day job. He studied how to entice women he liked and studied how to do well in business. Now, this was his partner, Carla. She also got immunity to testify against him. She never made it to actual testifying against him because she talked like Jenn did and talked and talked and talked and talked. All right. So after she talked, they gave her immunity, or before she talked, they said, yeah, let's give her immunity. She got it. She got immunity until he implicated her. After he implicated her, then guess what? That was it. They arrested her. She got 12 years and 2 counts of manslaughter. All right. So we're done with that. I'm done sharing that. You guys can go look at the Ken and Barbie Killers and know that they do give some people immunity. Now, there's never a full immunity. There's never a full immunity until they know that you're not lying. We're listening to this today, and we know that Jenn's lying about a bunch of stuff. Maddie's menstruation, Maddie's her Miralax routine. Okay, listen, you guys watch this. Tell me, did she lie? Tell me if she lied when they asked about her sending Maddie to Tyler Wallace's house, and she said, I'll send you to the house, but she can't I don't want anyone filming her under the door. Now, if they look under the door, if they look for text messages that refer to under the door filming, and they find that in the case where Stefan Sterns lines up with that time frame of October before Maddie got murdered, they're going to say she was lying about that. She told them that when she looked it up, or when she told him that it was happening in the area and she read about it. She also told them that in her text messages says, Maddie can't sleep with me anymore. I can't chance it. Lies, lies, and lies, folks. She's lying. They asked her, why would you not be able to chance the fact that Maddie can sleep with you? What does that mean? She said, I don't know. All right. Melanie Copeland says that was insane, especially what that Stefan Sterns was caught doing. Right. So we all know she's lying. All right. We can see it. The cops aren't stupid. Don't think that the Florida police are dumb. All right. You guys are telling me lies, lies, lies. You guys know. You know that Maddie was taking Miralax probably for the anal. All right. Lies are more lies. I think Jenn sends messages when she's high and then doesn't remember, but she's also going to catch herself up in it, and the police aren't that dumb, folks. All right, they're not that dumb. Bree, you're right. Stefan Sterns was caught recording roommates under their door. All right, let's listen to this for a little bit. I need to charge my headphones for a minute too. All right, let's listen for a minute.
Good morning. We are at the State Attorney's Office in Kissimmee. It's 8:57 a.m. It is April 18th. 2024. I am William J. I am the Division Chief for the Homicide Unit. With me is Danielle Pinnell, also from the Homicide Unit in Kissimmee. Can the detectives identify themselves?
Detective Mark Morris.
Detective Kyle Smallwood.
And with us is
Jennifer Soto.
with your attorney,
Matthew Spark.
All right. We went over some things before we went on the record and told you the opportunity to ask any questions that you need to ask. If you need a break to consult with your attorney, that is absolutely fine. We'll all step out of the room, turn off our recorders, and let you exercise your constitutional right to have counsel. There's no problem with that. There's water fountains here. There's restrooms. I don't know if you're a smoker or not, but like if you get desperate, we can make an outside break time, but we are kind of under time constraints. With that all said, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right. This is an investigative subpoena, so you've been compelled to be here. And in our country, under the 5th Amendment and the 14th Amendment, as applied to you under the Florida Constitution as well, you cannot be forced to incriminate yourself. So anything you say today can't and won't be used against you unless you just don't tell us the truth. And I've already explained to your attorney, Mr. Bark, whether or not you've made any inconsistent statements in the past. That
All right, do me a favor, y'all. I'm going to give some memberships, and some people's went away and some are here. If you guys have anything, and I don't even ask, if you guys can, anybody out there can give memberships or anything today, please do. Let's give some memberships or any help. Anything helps today, particularly. All right, so I'm going to give memberships while this is playing. Don't forget to get your membership. If you don't have your membership, get it today, please. I'm going to make sure I give you guys attention, put it up there when I do. Melanie says, I'd be curious to see if, that being said, her father lined up with what was recording, the roommate at the door. That's what we want to see. We also want to talk to Tyler about what she was saying, when she was saying it, when Stefan did that. I'll do that work myself. Jojo says, I want to give some too, but I can't. That's okay. Whoever can gift memberships do, I will right now while this plays. All right. And my name is J Scott, J-Scott on Venmo. It's down below. All right, let's play this. And I will be here for you guys all day long if I have to, answering your questions, putting you on blast up there in a good way, and doing what I can. I'm fired up. So let's go. All right.
that is dirt under the bridge, and either a misdemeanor was committed or it wasn't. But we're not going to be using that as a basis of some sort of perjury by false statements, because those other charges wouldn't be perjury anyways. So the most important thing today is to tell the truth. I also explained derivative use immunity, which means if you said that there was a gun, and obviously there's no gun in this case, buried in your attorney's yard, we couldn't go dig up that gun if you told us that, oh yeah, there's the gun that was used is right there. We wouldn't be able to do that. We would have to show that we learned all those things independently from this interview. Okay? Do you have any questions? All right, so let's get started.
Before you start, let me just make sure we're clear on the record. Off the record, we had discussed our position on the concerns we have. Ms. Soto was interrogated by law enforcement previously. She was under a tremendous amount of duress and stress, being that her child was missing and then she was informed was found deceased. There's been media hysteria about this. There's been people asking for her to be prosecuted, tarred, feathered, executed. And so with that said, we have the concern that you brought up about
Yes, we are.
if there's something said inconsistent today, not being used against her for filing a false police report.
All right. So, for example, if she said something that was false then, and we have no idea that it was false now before this interview, but she comes in and admits that it was false today, we can't use these statements or that admission that it was false against her, just like we couldn't use anything else against her from this interview.
Okay.
Okay. All right. My understanding is that on February 25th of this year, you were working at the hotel on Disney property out at Coronado Springs.
Yes.
You
You have to answer
out loud and loud enough to get caught on the record. I know you're
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
All right. And did you get off at 10 p.m.?
Yes.
All right. Did you go directly home?
Yes.
About how long does it take you to get home?
About 25 to 30 minutes.
And when you get home, who is downstairs, if anybody? You have a two-story, is it a townhome? Is that the best word for it?
Yeah, it's a townhome.
If anybody is downstairs, who is downstairs?
I saw my daughter Madeline and
All right. And I hope you guys heard all this. You guys have seen it before. JC, she does flirt with the detectives. Auntie Ree gifted one guilty of crime membership. JC either got one or JC purchased one again. So thank you both. In the very beginning, I want you to know this interview is on April 18th, 2024 at 8:57 a.m. by the state attorney's office. You guys are going to hear the name quite a bit. William J. Division Chief Homicide Unit, State Attorney's Official or Office 9 Judicial Court, Detective Mark Morris, Detective Kyle Smoller, Jennifer Soto with her attorney Matthews Bark. All right. This is an investigative subpoena. She had to be there for it. She was compelled to be there for it. She didn't have to. Now, she does have a derivative use immunity. This is not a forever immunity. It means anything she says in the interview, unless she lies, can't be used against her unless they find and investigate the things that she talks about independently outside of the investigation. That way it compels her to talk. This is a strategy, folks. Wendy Adelson has this too. The police are trying to prove that what they think is true. So she's either lying and they're going to find out, or she's not lying. We're going to get answers soon. Hopefully it comes in waves, okay? They ask Jen any question. She says no, really quietly. All right, let's keep going. I know you guys have seen this probably before me, so I want to thank you for being here. Akira, thank you so much for gifting the 5 guilty of crime memberships. You guys are amazing. And Judy Dahl, you're not going unseen. Nobody is. If you guys are sending me emails, I'm looking, I'm watching, and I'm replying to you. I do my best too. And good to see you, Em. I'm glad that you got a guilty of crime membership from me. I love you. You know I do.
and Stefan.
Do you recall what Madeline was wearing?
No.
Why does it take so long?
And do you recall what Stefan was wearing? When you get home from work, do you need to kind of eat a late dinner before you get settled in for bed?
Yes.
And do you eat there at your home?
Yes.
What do you eat?
All right, I'm turning this up because she talks really low. She doesn't seem to know anything which indicates she's lying. But then she gets quiet on certain things. Ashlyn Rogers, you're a rock star. Thank you so much for the 99-cent super sticker. If everybody gifts that, I'd have 421.99 sticker. So thank you. All right, let's mash that potato. I turned the volume really loud. It's April 18th, 2024. It's roughly 2 months after Maddie has been brutally murdered. I'm going to say it, and SA'd. She's been brutally murdered, partial decomposition, and really assaulted in the anal area, in the regular, all the regular things, but really in the anal area. That's really bad. And I'm thinking that's why she cremated her, folks. You tell me. All right, 99-cent Brianna Zapata, thank you so much. 426 more of those will be gravy. All right, let's go. I turned it up.
I think I had a pub sub waiting for me in the house, a sandwich.
Okay. Did anybody join you in sitting down and eating?
No, I ate in my bedroom.
Okay. Did it look like anybody else had recently cooked food or eaten any food there that night?
See that? You guys are awesome. You're on the train. Holly S, 99-cent super sticker. Shelly, 99-cent super sticker. You guys are listening to what I'm saying, and I hope you know that the way they couldn't go back and investigate more, 100% agree that way they can't go back and investigate more. With this, they can go back and investigate the things that she tells them. Now they have things to investigate. If she just shuts up, then they don't have anything to investigate. They don't have anything to ask Stefan. None of that. Do we know if she was fired by Disney? She's not fired. She just can't be there. She'll get beat down, folks. She wasn't fired. Gothic Breed, $2 super sticker. Thank you. When the mods are helping, you know we're getting help. All right, let's go. Oh, I'm so mad.
From what I saw, no, I didn't see anyone cooking, or it doesn't look like anyone had been cooking.
Okay. I believe in one of your former interviews, you mentioned that Madeline might have gone over with you kind of what she got at the birthday party since you didn't have the chance to go because you were at work.
Mm-hmm.
When and where does that occur?
That occurs like right after I get home. It occurs in my bedroom. Everyone's in my room.
All right, now this is the first time she's telling anyone that she actually sat there and saw Maddie's gift. So that sounds like another lie to me. Now, another thing that popped up to me was that Stefan stole Maddie's money for Christmas, the Christmas before. He stole Maddie's money. She's going to talk about Maddie having a stack of money. And guess what? I think that Stefan stole Maddie's money again for her birthday. But Jen's lying. And thank you, Phil. I'm going to call you Phil D for the $1.99 and a super sticker. Marianne, Naira, $4.99 super sticker. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. You guys are killing it. No pun intended. A bunch of lies. All right, now listen to this, how she lies. She's going to lie because we've never heard this before. Also, Petty Mason, thank you. That we got a few more mods and $2 each. We're getting up there. I can give some more memberships. Thank you so much. All right, let's listen to this lies. Let's listen to these lies. We've never heard about her seeing the birthday gifts after the party.
And so by everyone, let's just be clear, since I understand you have some roommates. So what do you mean by everyone?
Okay. Madeline, Stefan, and myself were in my bedroom.
Okay. At this point in time, do you recall what Madeline was wearing?
I don't know.
Let me ask it a different way. Can you tell me whether or not she was wearing a long sleeved green sweatshirt and jeans?
Oh, no.
Okay. Would she have kind of been?
All right, folks. So that's what they found Maddie dead in. Thank you, Serenity RPH, for the $9.99 super sticker. Maddie was dead in those clothes. All of a sudden, Jen doesn't remember seeing her in those. Leah, you're right about perjury. Also, they're going to get her on bigger charges than that. Trust what I'm saying when I say that if they do get her. I'm not saying that they are, but I'm telling you that they're doing this so they can get more information. Trust that when I tell you that they want more. She just lied right now. She told the police that she saw what Maddie was wearing to no uncertainty in the other interviews. That's why they just gave her immunity, because they want her to keep on talking. They're not stupid, everybody. And thank you, Randy B. You're amazing. I love you too. We got to get on each other's social media. And thank you, Ashley Valentine, for becoming a new member. All right. This is the first time she's never, and thank you for counting. First time she hasn't said she knew what Maddie was wearing, but she knew what Stefan was wearing. Isn't that funny?
Been in her bed gear, or do you think she could have still been in the dress that she wore to her birthday celebration?
She would have been in pajamas. I can't recall the exact pajamas, but she would have been in pajamas. She'd have.
Okay, so you guys got to know that she's saying she's in pajamas now, but she said every other time that she was wearing black shorts and a hoodie. Every other time she was wearing black shorts and a hoodie, and all of a sudden she's wearing pajamas. This is exactly why. Well, I'm going to stop everything we're doing right now to tell you this is why they gave her derivative immunity. This exact reason is why they gave her derivative immunity, because they want her to keep talking. And I looked this up. I looked it up. I looked up the laws, and the laws say that they do that so she doesn't get arrested for lying in the interviews. All the interviews that she lied in, they now said, we come tell the truth. This is your chance to talk. Come tell us. We won't hold anything accountable. We won't arrest you for the lies that you told and what Stefan told you to say. We won't arrest you. Come tell us the truth. And now she's telling us a different truth. Thank you, Just Melissa, so much for the $10 super sticker. Gothic Bree, I love you. You're amazing. You always help with everything. $5 or 5 guilty of crime memberships. All right. So right here, Big Ham, this is why they're getting her to talk, because they told her, we will not arrest you for those interviews that you lied in. Just come tell the truth. And this is what she's doing. This is the first time we've heard that Maddie would be in her pajamas. All right.
Already, by this point in the evening, she had already showered and changed out of that birthday dress.
And was it your understanding from your sister that she had gotten dropped off about 8:30, she being Madeline?
8:30, 8:45, something around that time, yeah.
And what's your understanding as to when Stefan had gotten there? If you know, if you don't, I guess it's fine.
Actually, while he's saying that, this
Now, I don't want to hear any excuses from anybody talking about the reason she doesn't know is because this shit was 2 months ago. Don't tell me that bullshit. She's just trying to remember what lies she told and which one she didn't. And that's why she got immunity, because they wanted to make her comfortable with telling what she knew, not with what Stefan Sterns told her to say, but with what she actually knew. So now they say, what time did you get home? And she says, she knows exactly what time Stefan got there, Maddie got there, and her, because she said it like 25 times. Nora, thank you so much for the super sticker. Judy Doll, you're amazing. Gifted 5 guilty of crime memberships. And CBC, I love ya. Mrs. Abuse has been going on for years. I noticed they did not ask Zip on that. Yeah, they did not ask that, but they did direct questions at her about why she can't sleep in the bed anymore and why she can't chance it. I know you guys remember that, and we're going to get to that. They're asking these questions for a reason, everybody. They went and watched the interviews. They picked out the things that her and Stefan Sterns said together. They picked out the bold-faced lies, and they're coming back to ask her. And they're smart by saying, hey, you got immunity. Just tell us whatever you want. We're not going to arrest you for the stuff you lied for. I'm telling you. I'm no officer, but I talk to them, and I'm not talking about the one you guys think. $199 super sticker, Nina Drew. Thank you. I've done my research.
this is important. So there's things that you might think should be a certain way because that's just the way things go. But don't just guess based on past history that it's the same as what happened on that particular day. If you don't know, you
Right
don't.
there. Right there.
Yeah,
Right
I'm
there.
not sure exactly what time he got there.
Okay. You were at work, so I just didn't know if, like, sometimes families check in, hey, I made it, by text or by phone call or anything like that. Do you not remember any of that?
I don't remember.
Okay. How long were the three of you in your bedroom?
I'm gonna say for about 30 minutes.
Okay. And did Madeline tell you about the party?
She was really happy.
Did she tell you what food they had there at the party? Or?
Yeah, she had her favorites.
What are her favorites?
Puerto Rican food. So arroz con gandules.
All right, you guys, this one disgusts me and it makes me want to throw up. Now, Christina Kane says, risk what? Yeah, risk what? I can't have her sleeping in my bed anymore because I can't risk it. Risk what, Miss Soto? Now, listen to this. She disgusts me. I want to throw up now. Throw up on Jenn Soto's face when she starts talking and flirting with the officers and talking in Spanish. All right, I'm going to let you guys listen to this because she didn't know this before. This never came out before, and that's why she got immunity. Every time I say why she got immunity and she lies, I'm going to tell you her lie and why she got immunity. They're not stupid. And yeah, the Sister Act movie, all of a sudden the Sister Act movie didn't happen. They had 30 minutes. They showed all of the gifts, went through all of the money, had a conversation, watched Sister Act all in 30 minutes. Come on, get real. That's a lie. And that's why they gave her immunity, because they didn't want to trip her up. They wanted her to say everything else that she didn't say before.
All right, so you're gonna have to translate to English. I know frioles and a rose and a couple other things, but help me out.
If I recall correctly, she had requested rice. It's a type of rice and beans.
Mhm.
It's rice with pigeon peas.
Okay.
And pernil, which is, I'm not sure how to. It's a pork, but I'm not sure how they cook it.
Okay.
So it's cooked pork. That's typically what she requests for her parties. That's like her favorite meal.
Okay. And what kind of gifts did she get?
She got a lot of money.
Okay.
That's what she ended up showing me. I think she had a few.
All of a sudden, she got a lot of money that she ended up showing Jennifer Soto, folks. The money that she didn't give to her daughter. Maddie was mad at her mom because she didn't give her any money. Also, Jenn Soto, what happened to that money that she showed you? Where did that money go? And how in the is she laughing? You're right. Her daughter was brutally essayed for years and murdered. I can't not say that word murdered, folks. She was brutally murdered and already decomposing when they found her. And think about what her body looked like, folks. Her body had to have been, oh, I don't even want to talk about that right now.
Trinkets, but like most of it was just a big wad of money that she was so excited for.
Is there any particular reason Stefan couldn't make it up to the party? Because it's my understanding he didn't exactly work or anything.
He wouldn't have been invited. The party was held at
There
my
it
mom's
is.
house, and my mom and him have never had.
I've been saying this the entire time. Stefan Sterns was not welcome at that party, and because Jenn was with Stefan, she was not welcome at that party, and that's why I'm pretty sure she used that I'm going to work card. She didn't want to go. She wasn't invited either. Her family doesn't really like her. They are supporting her now, but I've been saying that from the beginning. That's why Stefan Sterns wasn't there. I've been saying from the beginning when Court TV thought that Stefan Sterns was there in that balloon that he wasn't. The family doesn't like him, which means that they've had an intuition about him and something was wrong with him. Joe Corby, please hit the like button, y'all, and get me in those. Get me in the algorithm. I'm a little channel, but I want to be up there, and I want to be at 20,000 and 50,000 and 70. Please help me. Thank you.
A great relationship. She's never liked him. So he wouldn't have been invited to the party at all. It just would have been my whole family. And then me, if I hadn't worked, I would have been there. Okay.
Now, during this 30 minutes that the three of you are in your bedroom, is Madeline engaging in any of her kind of nighttime routine or, getting ready for bed? What else is going on, if anything?
We spent a long time talking about gifts and having her show me, and then we counted out her money. I can't remember if she had finished with all of her bedtime routine.
Okay. Does she brush her teeth at night?
In the shower.
In the shower? Okay.
She all of a sudden can't remember if she had finished her bedtime routine while they were there for the 30 minutes, folks. You know what probably happened is that Stefan Sterns did the bedtime routine when she got home, gave her pills, made her take a shower so she'd be nice and clean for him, gave her the Marilax. Is not an answer, Jennifer Soto, but they're not trying to lead on that they're trying to catch her up in a lie. And you can tell later on the detective gets a little bit annoyed and he purposely makes jokes and tries to fill her out. This is not immunity forever.
And that occurred before you got home?
Yeah.
And my understanding with her nighttime medication is that's something that you would like to make sure she had bedtime or so?
Something like that, yeah.
So were you present for that occurring, or did that occur after you got home?
That did not occur on my call. I believe I had instructed Maddie when she got home to go ahead and take them herself.
Okay. And is that something that she's allowed to do?
That's also a lie because Stefan Sterns gave her pills and over-medicated her and told Jenn that he did that night. Veronica, S, thank you so much for the super sticker. Pam B, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. You say hello, everybody. After hearing Jennifer speak, I believe 100% that she knew what was going on and condoned it. I'm so glad that people can switch to that side or be confident after hearing this, because I am too. We've read every single document most of you have, and we know she's lying. We know, we see, and the cops see that too. Don't think that they don't know.
From time to time, yeah.
When you say they, is there, what my understanding was there was some hydroxyzine. Is there anything else she takes at night?
Just hydroxyzine.
All right. And the Miralax is when?
Miralax is.
So that would have been earlier while you were at work too if she took it?
Yeah.
May not have, because she.
I told you they prepped her before, gave her the Miralax so he can have nice and clean for him, showered nice and clean for him. They redact some of the stuff, but there's also pauses, so that's why it stopped.
That's a party.
Yeah, because I had been training at work that week and we had been going back and forth with my mom's a lot. The Miralax wasn't consistent.
Okay. All right. Now, Madeline, does she lay out her clothes for school the next day, or is that something she gets in the morning, makes a game time decision like my kid?
Typically, it is a game time decision morning of.
Okay. What about this specific evening? Do you remember anything about it?
Yes. This evening.
Maybe you didn't hear it Wednesday, Ophelia, but what I said was that for Christmas, Stefan Sterns stole her money. They believe so. Maddie believes so. And for her birthday, I believe if she showed them a bunch of money, where did the money go? I think Stefan Sterns and Jenn Soto both took it. She said she had loads of money, lots of money for her birthday. Like they handed her bags of money and it took them a half an hour to put the bags away. So I don't think we're getting confused. I think it's just me saying that and the chat talking about it. What's up, Millie? Good to see you. I want to know what you think about this. Do you think she has immunity forever?
We had, I had already discussed prior to Stefan coming to visit that he was going to help me take Maddie to school that day. So because I knew that that was what was going to happen that night, I had asked Maddie, pick out your clothes, have everything ready, have your backpack ready, your water bottle, everything you need ready, so that way you could just grab your stuff and head out. It won't be too much of a hassle in the morning. And so she did. She picked out her clothing. I asked her what she was wearing, and she told me what she had picked out. I said, okay, fine.
All right, so she picks it out, but does she physically take it out of somewhere, wherever she stores her clothes, and put it somewhere?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure if she took that clothes upstairs with her or anything like that.
All right. So as far, you didn't see them in your room, and did you have the opportunity to kind of see her cubby part of the living room to see if she had put them on her bed or anything like that?
I hadn't seen them.
Does Madeline have like a water bottle or a hydro flask or whatever?
All right, just keep in mind these questions are targeted that they're asking. They're also trying to get her warmed up. And as they warm her up, they're trying to bring up questions that they already heard. Jennifer Soto did have a $350 Botox appointment and canceled it because she didn't want to spend the money, is what she said. I do remember that, but I wonder if she took Maddie's money and got it anyway. She made that for the next day, but canceled it. I bet she knew Maddie was gone, that child support money. Yeah, well, the child support money was only like $182 a month. It was pretty small. I looked it up, but definitely I think that she canceled it because she knew what had happened. She knew what would happen. Like I just said, she knew what happened. Jenn Soto knew what happened, and that's what they're trying to get her on.
Whatever the kids call it, that she likes to sleep with and bring up or bring wherever she's sleeping?
They might have found something in that flask, Carlene. The water bottle question was strange, but they talk about it being a hydro flask. We don't know what was in there. That's why they're asking. All right.
Typically not. That stays downstairs in her backpack, and then she'll clean it in the morning and then fill it back up and just leave it in her backpack. That typically stays in the backpack.
Okay. Favorite stuffed animal or stuffed animals? Anything that always goes with her wherever she's sleeping?
She does have a few stuffies and blankies. Did I see any that day?
Yeah, specifically, did you see if she brought any of that stuff upstairs with her?
No, I didn't see any of that stuff upstairs.
Now, separate question, generally, habitually, like your attorney was saying, there's a difference between specific memory, but generally, would she do that? Not saying that you saw it that night.
Generally, would she do what? Bring
Have stuffies and blankets and her favorite stuff.
Yes, she typically would.
So if Stefan says something like Maddie's building her nest and getting settled in, would that to you mean like her stuff is part of this nest, or what do you think that would mean, if you know?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I
Do you
don't
recall getting
know.
that text from Stefan that night that Maddie had settled into her nest for the night?
No.
Okay. My understanding was that at some point you told them it was time to go to bed.
Yeah.
Do you recall about what time that was?
Around 11 o'clock.
So that's consistent with getting home at 10:30, having this half-hour discussion and eating your pub sub? Is that a yes?
Yes.
All right. Do they comply with your wishes to go upstairs when you say that at about 11 o'clock?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Is there any further communication between either you and Madeline or you and Stefan about, all right, kids, it's time to go to bed, anything like that?
All right, this is what they want to know because they have the phone records. They've checked everything, guys, ladies, people, beautiful, amazing people. Hi, Avis. All right, hamburger helper, $5. I can't afford to give much, but given that you so continue your campaign to arrest Jenn Soto, don't give up on this, Jay. And I absolutely will not give up on this, even after a while or after they say, oh, I don't think they're going to clear her anytime soon. So I'm on it. Nikki Shear or Cherie, everything done in the dark will come to light. I agree with that. My Guilty of Crime in the Dark series says just that, and I agree. Thank you so much. All right, let's keep going. They're targeting these questions on purpose, people. Now pay attention because I know that you guys have listened to this before, parts of it, all of it, some of it, a bunch of it, and we're listening again to really hear what's going on.
That, or was that the last you had heard from either one of them that night?
I think at some point Stefan comes downstairs to use the restroom and then goes back upstairs. But after that, I don't recall interacting or saying anything. So.
Okay. And my understanding is that you had some sort of parental controls over Maddie's phone. Is that accurate?
I'm not sure by parental controls exactly. I didn't have any limits or anything on the phone set up.
Well, like for instance, if she wanted to install Game Pigeon, does that have to go through you?
Yeah. So any permissions for any apps, she would have to ask me for.
All right, and does that ring a bell as to occurring that Sunday? Game Pigeon?
I don't remember.
Okay. All right. So that's the last time you hear from either one of them until the morning. My understanding is that Stefan comes down and is dealing with your dog. Is there any communication other than perhaps Stefan coming down to use the restroom? Is there any other communication that you have between Stefan and Maddie? Do you see them? Now I've said communicate. Do you see them? Do you go up and
I don't think it was necessarily targeted, Phil, at the game app. I think it's just the apps that came on the phone and what was on the phone. And they're trying to gauge if she was looking at her phone. That's why they're asking that, to see if her mother was looking at Madeline Soto's phone and what was coming on, what was going off. Was she looking at that? She was saying yes, that she monitors her phone. That was the question. That was a real question. That wasn't the question really about a game app. And yes, there was a bathroom upstairs and one downstairs. That was the roommate bathroom. And the downstairs one was Juan's bathroom when he was there, and then Jen's when she was there.
check on them? Do you see Madeline or Stefan from the point you kick them out at 11 p.m. until you see Stefan at 8 in the morning?
And did you hear how that officer said that? Was it from 11 o'clock when you kick them out? Did you hear that? Yeah, but Christina Todd, her immunity stood, but she still got 12 years, 2 manslaughter charges, and she went to prison. She went to prison for 12 years. So it doesn't matter if her immunity stood. I never said her immunity didn't stand. Her immunity stood. But if they could find anything outside of the immunity and what she told, then she went to jail, and she did go to jail. I have that. So I think you're incorrect, or you're misreading what I'm saying. Yes, Jenn's immunity still stands. But did Carla Homolka do 12 years, 2 manslaughter charges? Yes. Is Jenn going to get caught on the outside if she lies of those questions? Yes. Those questions are what she's has immunity for this particular interview. So I'm not sure what you're saying, but go look up Carla Homolka. She did do 12 years. Everybody knows here that Carla was in prison. Absolutely. Yeah, this immunity is for any questions, but does not stand for anything new that they find correct, or let me tell you, Kim, for anything that she's lying about. If she's lying, that immunity is off the damn table. If she's lying about Maddie and one of these questions, and they go investigate it outside of this, and Stefan Sterns brings information that she was there, or that she knew, or images of something, like just like Paul Bernardo did. Paul Bernardo was hiding a VHS tape in his ceiling. He pulled the VHS tape down, and guess whose voice was on the VHS? Carla Homolka. And she was essaying her, she was sexually assaulting her sister, and she murdered her with him. You did not have the immunity to sit up if we went to prison. Exactly. Thank you. She got immunity for specific certain things, not for everything. If you're lying, immunity is off the table.
Is what you guess for the dog.
No, I didn't see them.
Okay. Now, when you go to sleep,
Yes.
do you sleep through the night, or do you wake up and not have consistent good sleep?
I sleep through the night.
Okay. So there wouldn't be any points in time where you get up and you're taking steps or just checking on your phone because you can't go back to sleep? As far as you remember, when you go to sleep, you're out until the dog thing in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you hear or see anything during those hours involving Stefan or Madeline?
I didn't hear or see anything that night.
I didn't hear or see anything.
All right. What's the first thing you remember when you wake up after having gone to sleep?
I wake up to Stefan trying to put the leash on the dog.
Okay. Now, is this the first time that you've ever woken up to Stefan trying to put a leash on your dog, or is that something that has occurred before in the past?
All right, so now he's trying to get her into that situation with the dog, and that could be a totally different answer this time. She can say, you know what, that was what was, she doesn't have to even say that, but that can be implied that she talked about the dog. They're giving her a chance to tell her story now without it looming over her what she told in the interviews. That's what this is about. And the reason I'm getting so huffy about this is because I looked into the Carla Homolka case. I've watched that case, studied that case since the 90s. I know about that case, and I know exactly that it's in Ontario. Lisa lives there. She went to prison for 12 years, got out, got married, had children of her own, and got kicked out of her own town because they didn't want her there. They didn't want her being in the PTA for her children. They did not want Carla there at all. So, yeah. And I meant to thank you, CBC. They may not have enough for but they have enough for the rest of aiding CSAM and to SS, and they could have more. We just don't know yet. So thank you. All right. Sorry if I get all worked up, but yeah, in my opinion, Jenn is guilty of a crime. She's lying, and we're listening to her lie. And I did look up the Carla Homolka case, or I wouldn't put my foot in my mouth like that and not know what I was talking about. So
I'm gonna say this is the first time. It's not normal for any of us to put the leash on the dog on the bed, because if he's on top of any like bed, couch, anything, he'll pee. He gets really nervous. You have to do it on the floor. So I found it really weird that he did that. But
all right, so let me ask it a little more broadly. Is this the first time Stefan's ever come into your room while you're sleeping to take the dog out for you in the morning?
I can't recall if we saw him before.
Okay.
I can't
Did you
recall.
find it unusual then, or What did you think when this is occurring?
When it happened, I think I was more, I found it off, but I was more worried over the dog. I was like, please don't pee on the bed. I don't want to do laundry.
Okay.
So I was more anxious over that. He put the dog on the leash and told me to
Yes.
lay down and go back to sleep. And I said, okay.
So were you not laying down when he tells you to go back and lay down?
No, when he put the leash on the dog, I shot off the bed because I was going to help him. I was like, no, let me do it. And he's like, no, go back to sleep. I'm fine. I got this.
Okay.
I said, okay.
Now, do you go back to sleep or do you check your phone or do anything?
I think I go back to sleep. I can't look at anything.
I think I go back to sleep. She's trying to remember the answers that she gave them for the other interviews that she had. And a lot of them are the same, but many of them change. This interview was 2 months after Maddie had already been passed away. This was on April 18th, 2024. Not exactly 2 months, but a little bit before 2 months. This wasn't long. This was not long. Okay. All right, let's go. So Little Irish Girl, the interview was on 4/18/2024. All right. Michelle says, didn't she, is the one statement, she kicked Stefan out because he told her he woke up with an erection after sleeping with Maddie? If so, why was he back? No, this was an ex-girlfriend that said that. It wasn't Jen, not that ex-girlfriend. All right, let's go.
In this period of time that you have been awoken by Stefan, do you hear or see anybody else in your household?
I hear somebody in the kitchen. I'm not sure who it was.
All right, let's see if her story holds up to the same story she's had. I want you guys to know the reason they haven't arrested her. She's clearly got a lawyer, folks. She's got a lawyer. I showed you the lawyer at the beginning. They didn't arrest her because they don't have a visual of Jen in the room essaying Maddie. They don't have anything that says, go take my daughter and take her life. They don't have her in the car going to dump Maddie. They don't have any evidence that is a clear connection with the murder or the essay. It's not a clear, like, oh, there she is in the car, or there's that text message. But they do have questionable text messages about, why did you say that she can't sleep in the bed anymore? Why is that? Why would it be that you can't chance it? That's why they're trying to connect those dots. There's not clear and concise. And once you lawyer up, folks, you're buying yourself time. If I go commit and take someone's life away from them and then go lawyer up, it's going to take them a while to arrest me. She lawyered up right away. That's correct, Maggie Duke. No direct evidence. And she lawyered up and she's been hiding. All right. So that's why no arrest. And that's why we're here bringing light to it.
Okay. Could you identify it by size, like their steps? Could you identify gender by their voice? Anything like that?
All I heard was sounds of like cabinets shutting, like somebody in there shutting, like looking for something and shutting.
Okay. Now, if your daughter had been awake, would she come in and say goodbye to you before school or not? Just let you sleep?
I would have hoped she would have come by and say goodbye to me.
Why is she laughing?
I can't remember if this is one of the first times that Stefan actually took her to school, so
Her mom.
I would have hoped.
Do you remember last time she said that was the only time Stefan Sterns had ever taken Maddie? In January, her mom has money and her mom's paying for it. Her dad has money and her dad will pitch in. They also got $16,000 GoFundMe for Maddie. That would put a good retainer down on a lawyer. All right. And she's laughing. Why is she laughing? Yeah, Nikki, you're right. She better hide. Wanda says she's not so slow to get a lawyer as soon as it happens. She's not that slow to get it right. She knew what she was doing. This is funny. All right, guys, keep on sending questions. I'll answer them. If you got any more memberships that you guys can gift or the 99-cent stickers, those all help. So thank you. Let's keep going. I appreciate you all.
Hope she would have said good night, but I'm not sure.
All right. So do you fall back asleep?
I do.
And when do you wake up and how do you wake up?
I wake up at like 9 o'clock in
Yes.
the morning
Yes.
to my alarm. Yeah, I wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning to my alarm. I get ready. I think at around 9:30, 9:45, I leave for my doctor's appointment.
Okay. So in this period of time from when you're waking up and getting ready, do you see anybody else in your home?
Mm. At this point, I'm not too sure.
Now the police don't want to catch her on lies anymore, Ursula. They can be considered lies, but whatever she says she can't remember, they could look into further. She does not have full immunity where she could just walk away forever and not get arrested. The immunity that they're giving her is the immunity in here. And when she says to them, "Oh, Maddie didn't sleep in the bed anymore," because we just couldn't chance it. They're not going to arrest her and say, "You said something different in the interview. We're arresting you." Typically, they would arrest somebody for inconsistencies in an interview that obstructs the justice of police finding your daughter that was murdered and essayed. So typically, she would get arrested. In this case, the immunity helps her not get arrested right now for the lies she's telling. So they're not trying to arrest her on lies. They want direct evidence, and they want to get that direct evidence. Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
I know throughout the day I've seen my roommate in the kitchen cooking and doing her thing, but I don't recall if it was at this time.
Yes.
Did you see your daughter this morning on the 26th?
No.
Did you have any texts or phone calls or any other type of communication through any possible app on your phone? Like, "Hey mom, love you at school," whatever. Any communications from Madeline?
Anything from her? Nothing.
All right. How about from Stefan by the time that you wake up at 9? Any texts or communication from him? "Maddie's dropped. I'm off to the game store," or whatever he's doing?
No. I didn't hear back from Stefan until 10:20ish, and he had told me he left his phone at home that whole morning by accident. And I had asked him how the morning went, how was Maddie, and he let me know that this morning went great. We made great time. She got busy super quick. He was going to take her to McDonald's for breakfast, but she changed her mind. All she wanted to do was sleep.
So now she's just rehearsing, or she's saying that rehearsed story between Stefan Sterns and herself. JPL, I've got to tell you that the bio dad, he can't be charged for anything because Jenn Soto's mother, Yolanda Zambrano, hired an attorney for a bunch of different sessions to get Maddie, for Jenn to have full custody of Maddie. They fought and fought and fought to have Maddie. Her mom helped her. They ran him out of Florida. Basically, he needed to move to Texas and make his money back. He couldn't. It was parental alienation. Now, I don't know if the dad can press charges for wrongful death and neglect at this point. I don't think that's a possibility. If the police don't have evidence, he's not going to have evidence. Now you're talking about a civil suit, and that civil suit can't happen yet. So let's listen to this. It's coming up. You can hear it in her voice. Let's go. I believe she's recalling her daughter's murder as well.
In the car, so he let her sleep. He took her to school and dropped her off, or he said he dropped her off, and that was it.
And you had a 10:15 appointment for a blood draw?
Yes.
And did you go anywhere else prior to getting to your appointment for your blood draw? Did you go directly there or not directly there? That's basically the question.
Oh, I went directly there.
Right. And after your blood draw, did you go directly back home?
Yes.
About what time did you get home?
Sometime between 11:15 and 11:30.
Did you have any other appointments or doctor's appointments later in the day?
I was supposed to have had one, but I canceled it
When did you cancel it?
Awesome.
that same day.
Why did you cancel it?
Because it was a $350 Botox appointment that I didn't want to spend the money on. I changed my mind last second.
When you get home from your blood draw appointment, is there anybody else at your home?
Good question.
When I get home from blood draw. Yes, Stefan was home.
All right. And can you describe what he's wearing, what he's doing, his demeanor, what's going on?
I can't recall what he's wearing. It might be a red shirt with a graphic on it.
Okay.
He's sitting in my bedroom on my desk.
Prior to you getting there, he's in your room, or is that where you guys go to talk?
That he was hanging out there in my room.
Okay.
My room is kind of like the general hangout spot.
Okay.
I walk into my room. He's sitting there on the computer chair. He's talking, acting normal, asking about the morning and how everything went, and that he let me know the errands that he ran that morning or what he was up to.
And what did he say he was up to?
He said he had dropped Maddie off at school and then afterwards went to a vape shop so he can buy vaping things.
Okay.
But that the store wasn't open, so he waited a long time for them to open. They never did. So he drove around, killed time, and then eventually made it back to my house at like 10:20.
In my opinion, the killing time is a Freudian slip. And Shaker Sister is a new member. Thank you so much. Now, I just got news that it could be possible breaking news right now that Elijah Vu was found. I'm going to check on that and keep you guys posted. You guys know that I've been covering the Elijah Vu case from day one. Boots on the ground with Marv, and let's see if that happened. I'll keep you guys posted as we do this. I don't want you all to hop off, but we do want to hashtag arrest Jenn Soto, and thank you all for being here and supporting this cause. Thank you guys so much for not listening to, not listening to everybody and what they say and not forming your own opinion. Thank you for forming your own opinion and staying with it. Hashtag arrest Jenn Soto. I'll keep you posted about little Elijah. All right, let's keep going because we do need complete and utter justice for Maddie. So there's 695 people in here. There was 715 a little bit ago. Please hit that like button for me. All right, let's go. I'm gonna check this out right now.
When later on, when I got home and he was home, we started discussing, or he started telling me that he was going to go back out to run a few more errands in a little bit down 192. And he gave me the name of a few stores that he might stop at. And I'm like, okay. I asked him if he wanted to meet me at my house by 2:30 so that we can go pick up Maddie from school together. And he said, yeah, he'll be back by 2:30. And I said, okay.
So was that the plan, to get her together, or was it ever discussed that he would get her alone?
The plan was for us to get her together.
Okay. All right. And so does he leave before you leave?
Actually, before this, while we were still discussing, while we were having the conversation in my room, he did mention at one point, while he was sitting there, that he had to reboot his phone, or that he had to update his phone.
All right, word for word again, word for word, y'all. Her and Stefan Sterns using the killing time, using the different verbiage that they're using. Hey, Rosie, what's up? Blessed Sunday. So they did find remains, but they don't know if it's Elijah Vu yet. I just want you to know that remains have been found in a Girl Scout camp, and they're wondering if it is Elijah Vu. More than likely, if they found a 3-year-old that's missing and they're similar, maybe looking, maybe its size, it's a possibility it could be Elijah Vu. We don't know for sure. They've got to do the testing on it. So I'll let you guys know as this unfolds. Please stay tuned here. with me as we continue this. 683 people in chat. When I say discussing, they're in the room discussing what happened that morning as Maddie's body is in the trunk. All right. Jay, can one of your Elijah homies do a Yeah, they are doing that. They're actually doing that right now. So I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you posted.
And what was it? He had to update his phone. So I told him, stop avoiding it, do it. Like, updates take a while, like, do it. And while he was updating his phone, he said, I don't know what I did, but I factory reset my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, that's weird. I didn't know that you could do that. He said, yeah, a button popped up and I pressed it and it just reset my entire phone. And I'm like, oh, that sucks.
You know what she's not saying? You know what's worse than what she's saying is what she's not saying, folks. Why is she not saying, I was talking to that son of a bitch. We were sitting there talking and he was telling me that he accidentally reset his phone. That mother, all the whole time she was in their trunk. I can't believe it. She's not saying that, everybody. Can you believe that? Can you believe what she's saying and what she's not saying? She's sticking to the same story. She does piss me off so much too.
So does he leave before you do to go do these errands he was telling you about?
Yes, he does leave.
Do you stay at home until it's time to go get Madeline?
Yes.
Do you hear anything from Stefan while he's out doing these errands?
Yes.
No.
So 2:30 rolls around. Is Stefan back home yet?
No. At this point, I leave.
Do you try and call him or text him or communicate with him?
Yeah, I had been calling him like maybe starting 15 minutes before I was supposed to leave just to see where he was.
Did he answer?
No.
No.
I leave at 2:30.
Thank you.
Around 10 minutes later, I get a phone call from him. And he said, I'm so sorry. I left my phone at home again on accident. I was driving down 192 and my tire exploded or shredded. And I had to pull over into one of the plazas and change my tire. He said he hurt his thumb doing that. Okay. And that, he was late and didn't make it back on time for that reason.
All right.
Yep, he was late and didn't make it back up. Let me say that one more time. Yep, he was late and didn't make it back up. Yep, he was late. What the? All right, Melanie Peeler, thank you so much for the $1.99 super sticker. I'm going to gift a membership right now. You guys hang in there. Hit that like button for me, please. She is so nonchalant. It's disgusting. C. Vincent says, yep, that was it. End of story. Ha! Let's talk about beans and rice. Ha ha ha. I want to punch her in the face, y'all. It's pissing me off so much. Poor little wussy hurt his thumb. Yeah, I wish I would have took his whole hand out. Why does he mention his thumb? You want to know why he mentions his thumb? It's because he has scratches on his hand and he wanted to make it look like, oh, I was changing a tire and I got scratches that way. Yeah, just kidding. No emotion. It's not even the lack of emotion. It's what she's not saying. And the thing she is just making me mad. 422 likes, y'all, and 684 people in here. There was 720 people. Do me a favor, hit that like if you like the content that I bring. Thank you.
When you leave to go pick Madeline up at 2:30, do you take her phone with you?
I do.
And how is it that you come to get her phone to go with you?
At some point in the morning, I was organizing and putting things away, and I walked into her bedroom and I saw her phone on her dresser. And I just assumed,
The whole
she must
time.
have left it here while getting dressed and forgot it.
Okay. Was it on?
Yes.
And sometimes when you bump or move phones, the notification screen comes up.
Mhm.
Did you happen to do that? And did you see if there's any incoming notifications that she had missed?
I hadn't seen any, no.
Okay. All right. So you go to school.
All right, just pay attention when her voice drops and she either says, I don't know, or she says, no. When her voice drops like that, that's a pure indication. And I hope Deception Detective brings this, but he doesn't really have to because I've studied this so much that I know when someone's being questioned or someone's being interrogated, and they're recalling something in their mind, and they get real unsure of themselves. They're not really unsure of themselves. They're unsure because they're rethinking something different. That's how a lie detector test reacts to people lying and not lying. So all of a sudden her confidence level drops and she didn't see anything come in onto her phone. No, she just didn't look at her phone because there were things that the police found and she didn't want the police to think, oh, I didn't look in that. She didn't look in the phone. She doesn't want them to think that. Yeah, indicators. Voice dropping, fading facts, deception indicators. Thank you, Joe. And Wednesday, Ophelia, $1.99 super chat. I bet Jenn Soto gets cheap Botox off Groupon. I bet she does too. I bet she does. And she steals her daughter's money to get the cheap Botox. All right, let's keep going. Joe, you're right.
And due to time constraints, like an NFL football game, we're going to kind of jump ahead a little bit. My understanding is that you want to be first in line, and you have to get there early to do that. And I understand that.
Yeah.
She doesn't come out.
She doesn't know.
Did you call her phone?
I did.
Why did you do that?
Because I forgot I had it with me. I was like, where is she? Why isn't she out yet? So I start calling her phone, and then I start realizing I'm hearing vibrating, and then I look down. And I'm like, oh.
Okay.
How am I going to get a hold of her? Because I'm the first in line. The cars behind me already have children. They're full. They're waiting for me to leave.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to kind of jump ahead. Did Madeline ever complain to you about believing that Stefan had taken her Christmas money?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Christmas money went missing. And we were both I don't even know how to explain this. We had collected all of her envelopes with Christmas money and consolidated into one. I'll put all her money into one.
Yeah.
And then I said, I will put this somewhere safe. And I thought I had put it in my nightstand. A few days later comes around, whatever.
All right, now we're talking about the money from Christmas that Stefan Sterns stole. There's 701 people in chat. Hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, you're new here, please do subscribe. I promise you won't be disappointed. And Davis 809, you can't say it any louder. I'm with you. She does not have full immunity. You guys hear that loud and clear. She does not have full immunity, and she does not have full immunity forever. All right. It's just a partial immunity right now for this interview so they can hear what she has to say. Otherwise, she's just going to lawyer up and not say anything. She doesn't have to be doing these interviews right now, folks. Davis, thank you. Davis 809, thank you. I couldn't have said that any better.
We start looking for it or asking for it or something like that, and we can't find it. We can't find it at all.
So let me just narrow it down. Did she accuse Stefan of taking it?
I'm not sure if she did directly. We both had the suspicion, but we're like, no, could he have? No, I don't think so. But I eventually found that money.
Okay, I was just going to, how did the mystery end? All right, so you had just started this job at Disney Coronado Springs like a week or two earlier, is that right?
Yes.
And your sister and other family members would help with Maddie getting to school because of your job?
Yes, my mom.
I love you guys. And yes, she is a queen for a day, Propher, so they can see what she has to say. We gobshite. Yes, they absolutely, she has a lawyer with her. If you watch this from the beginning, I show you who her lawyer is. I want you all to know she has a lawyer with her right there with her. And she's going to have a lawyer, and she's had a lawyer the whole time. That's why they gave her immunity for this interview, so she could talk. They can't arrest her for anything that she says during this interview, any lies that now she's telling different from her interview before on TV, or anything she said to the officer. They cannot arrest her for that. However, if they find out she's lying, which we hear that she's lying right here ourselves, then they can investigate that and arrest her on that. They want something bigger than just, oh, she knew something or she lied.
Oh, my sister, yes.
Okay. Why is it that now Stefan on February 26th is coming up to help as opposed to any of your family members helping getting Madeline to school?
Yes.
I had asked for him to come and help me because I think I was working a lot of night shifts or like really late shifts. And I just wanted the opportunity to see Maddie, like, because I wanted to spend more time with my daughter throughout the week while I was working, versus had she had stayed at my mom's, I wouldn't have seen her all week.
Okay.
So that was just me wanting to see her and spend time with her.
She wanted to spend time with her daughter, but she was handing her over to Stefan Sterns to wreck her. He wrecked her on the inside and the out, folks. And I hate to say it like that, but it's true. Wanda, she doesn't get in trouble if she lies during the Propher. No, she gets in trouble if she lies, period. It's just like Carla Homolka. They gave her immunity and she can say whatever she wants. But if they find out she's lying, then they can charge her for those lies, just like Wendy Adelson, just like Carla. Now, Carla Homolka did 12 years. She got two charges of manslaughter for her sister for essaying her and taking her life. She did 12 years. She's out now, but she did do her time. She got immunity, but she lied to them and they found out. If they find out she's lying, which we see that she is, they can investigate those lies. They're not just doing this for no reason. And thank you, Wee Gob. I really like your channel. I came across it a few days ago. You seem very knowledgeable and read my comments. Thank you, Jay. Oh, you're welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, okay? Help me out. Help us out. Thank you.
Did Madeline stay at your mom's house fairly frequently?
Every few weekends here and there, like just for the weekend kind of thing.
So like if she described it to her friends as like her second home and like kind of offer up it's better jacuzzi and pool, does that sound like that's the place?
Yes.
Where does Madeline sleep when she's over at your mom's?
She will sleep in bed with my mom.
Okay. Did she ever have sleepovers? Like have friends come over and sleep over?
Slumber parties, no.
Did she ever go and attend any?
No.
Is there any particular reason? I mean, she's a 12-year-old girl on the cusp of being 13.
Yeah, I've been very uncomfortable with sleepovers just because I know what can happen. Anything can happen in a sleepover.
Well, then you can be the host house like we kind of were. You never hosted any sleepovers for her friends?
For her friends, no.
Did she ask about it?
Yeah, she did ask.
Was it probably a source of contention or arguments?
It was, I guess what was the source of argument was her and she wanted to really sleep over her best friend's house. And I just kept saying, no, you never know what could happen. I don't know the dad. I don't know the brother. I don't know anybody there. Like, I don't know what could happen to you. So,
it was happening at home, bitch.
Assaulted.
Okay. Did Madeline do her own laundry?
Yeah.
Did she?
She was afraid of her getting assaulted, y'all. She was afraid of her getting assaulted. Yet, yeah, you're right, Drew. She's blaming Juan for Maddie. Yeah, she did blame Juan for Maddie not having a room. She's saying that Juan wanted the rooms rented out. He wanted, you know what? He did not want the rooms rented out. He just wanted Jenn to pay for the condo. I do think the condo is going to get sold. It was up on the market 2 times and it got taken down. So he didn't want Maddie not to have a room. And holy mother of cognitive dissonance, thanks. Things can happen at a sleepover, right? Things can happen when you send your daughter to sleep with Stefan Sterns. Now she worms her way out of talking about abuse. She says about Maddie and abuse can happen. And then she doesn't say, but that mother abused my daughter right in the home. I can't believe what he did. What happened? Oh my goodness. What joy do I get by having Deception Detective here? What's up, my man? All right. 844 people in chat. Please do hit that like button. Mr. Deception Detective is here. Please come out with a new video soon so I can collab with you. Oda Maris says, thank God she never hosted any sleepovers. Her friends would be in danger. I agree. I was thinking the same thing. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
Cook for herself?
I was teaching her how to make a few things. So, I mean, yeah, she could, I guess.
Okay. What's her normal routine for getting ready for bed?
All right, let's listen to a routine for getting to bed, but I do have to read Deception Detective's comment. He says the court of law might let Jen off the hook, but the court of public opinion, that's a whole different story. It's based on reality, not legal loopholes. I agree with you. Thank you so much for saying that. We're never going to let Jen off the hook. I'm not going to. Sorry. In my opinion, she's just as guilty as Stefan Sterns. My opinion.
Give her her meds.
I'm sorry, take your time.
Right there. Thank you.
We get ready for bed. I'd give her her medication. She would get in the shower.
Take a long shower, I understand.
Like an hour plus. Yeah.
Okay.
She loved it. She'd get out. She'd get dressed. She'd let her hair towel dry for a while, and then she would brush it. Yes. We would watch some TV. She'd probably have a snack before bed as well.
Okay. What were kind of her nighttime uniforms? I mean, everybody kind of has their pajamas, but they're not necessarily pajamas. What was her routine nightwear?
She really liked wearing shorts.
All of a sudden, she stops crying. Yeah, those tears. Yeah, she loved hiding from y'all monsters. This poor little girl showering to escape and to wash all that nastiness off of her. CC, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. I'm going to pretend like it's a dancing avocado. And then after this, I'm going to go eat some avocados. I'm going to smash them up and pretend like it's Jenn Soto and go eat them with some salt and pepper. Thank you. I appreciate you. And thank you, Deception Detective, for stopping by and showing love. I love you.
So she had a few pajama outfits, but she really liked wearing shorts and baggy t-shirts.
Okay. How about her routine getting ready for school in the morning? What's that about?
We'd wake up. The alarm would start ringing around 7:30. We'd snooze it up until 8 o'clock. Then she'd get up. She'd get dressed. And then she'd lay back down in bed while she would wait for me to make her breakfast.
So she's a breakfast eater?
Yes.
Okay.
She'd have breakfast. Then she would start, with brushing her hair, brushing her teeth, putting on makeup. I would give her ADHD medications for school.
Is that every day or just school days?
Alley Cat, you're on Guilty of Crime right now. Alley Cat, Deception Detective said subscribe to Guilty of Crime. That's me. GOC. Guilty of Crime. You found me. Thank you.
So it sounds like you're heading out like 8:45 or 9?
Yes.
And it takes like, what did you say, 15, 20 minutes to get to school?
Yes.
And first bell's 9:38?
9:20.
Something like that?
9:20,
Okay.
yeah.
So on Monday the 26th, 7:30 seems like a really early time to depart to go to middle school, even if you're getting Mickey D's. What was the discussion about when Stefan and Madeline were going to leave on the 26th?
There wasn't one.
So you didn't know anything about these plans, or did you? Or
I knew that they were going to go to McDonald's, but not 7 o'clock in the morning. That wasn't.
okay.
I had assumed like 8 o'clock.
And-
But even then, 8 o'clock is kind of early, like 8:30, because you could just go to McDonald's, be done by 9, and then drop her off at school. But the McDonald's is right the block away from the school. So
And Madeline's not driving, so she can eat while she's riding.
yeah. So I
And she
don't.
takes about an hour to get ready in the morning?
Mhm.
Yes?
Yes.
So if they were leaving at 7:30, you'd think she'd have to get up at 6:30 to get ready and go through a routine, right?
Yeah, that's extremely early.
And is that what Stefan told you?
I don't think Maddie even slept that night, folks. I think he took her to the room and assaulted her after he gave her all that medication, and he assaulted her for hours, took pictures, assaulted her some more, and then he took her life. And after he took her life, he put her in the trunk before anybody got up, and then he did all his other stuff. I really don't think Maddie got any sleep that night, and I hate to think of it that way, but her mom is thinking of it right now, and she's not even, she's like, oh yeah, you're right. 6:30, that's extremely early. Yeah, sick son of a bitch is right. She doesn't say that once.
After these events unfolded, was that they left early, like 7:30? What did he ever tell you?
It was early. I can't remember the time. I think I dropped her off in front of her school sometime between 8:15 and 8:45.
You say I. What do you mean by that? Did you drop her off that
No,
morning?
I'm speaking, sorry.
Okay.
As what Stefan was telling me. Stefan let me know that he dropped her off sometime between 8:15 and 8:45 on the road by the church close to her school.
Mhm.
And I remember asking him, why so early? That's too early. School doesn't start until 9:30. Why did you drop her off that early? Oh, I don't know. We just left the house and made good time. I wasn't paying attention to the clock.
Okay. Did Madeline ever have like effects from taking the hydroxyzine in the morning? Like still be kind of sluggish?
Yes.
How often would that occur? Was that like every morning or not every morning?
Not every morning. If we happen to give her medication later than normal than routine, that would happen. But
Okay. And were there ever any?
I do want you guys to keep in mind that the food in her belly does help in the time of death, but also they're going to help. A lot of things are going to help with that, and that's why Jenn Soto had Maddie cremated. Sometimes they'll exhume a body when they need to go back and check things. They can no longer bring her body back because she had her cremated. Now that's a big red flag right away. A husband kills his wife, and all of a sudden he kills his wife, has her cremated, and off she goes. You know how many times that happens? 8 out of 10 times that a husband kills his wife and then has her cremated. That happens a lot, folks. I want you to know that I do study true crime. I've been studying true crime for the last 25 years, and I know what I'm talking about. I might not be a police officer or a lawyer, but I know what I'm talking about. And people don't have, by chance, their children's body cremated after all that abuse happens for no reason. Sue, you're amazing. And your kitty cat. Thank you so much for the 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. Make sure you guys are interacting and liking, subscribing, and commenting. That's how you will get a gifted membership. Thank you.
Any instances where she had taken too much of the medicine? Perhaps you and Stefan had given her medicine,
There are.
not knowing that the other person had?
yes, that's
There are.
How before? Just once or more?
I want to say one.
Were you taking medicinal marijuana in pill form at any point, or THC?
Yes.
And what do those pills or tablets or capsules look like?
They're purple capsules.
Did you ever suspect or confront Stefan about giving those medications to Madeline?
No.
So
No.
during this incident where Madeline had been double dosed with hydroxyzine, do you recall any conversation you had with Stefan and
I think so.
inquiring as to whether or not he had accidentally given her any of your THC?
No.
That hadn't occurred to me. I had asked him the day that
Maybe.
the one morning Maddie wouldn't wake up and get ready for school, and she was just out of it.
Can I tell you all something? THC would have been much better for her than the hydroxyzine. And I bet you they did find THC in her body. He was probably drugging her with multiple things. And when you do suffocate someone, it's going to be a lot easier when they're really drugged up and out of it, and their breathing slows down. When your breathing slows down, it's so much easier to just keep going to sleep. Yeah, her knowing how she answers the question, I don't know. Huh? What? Ugh.
I assumed it was medication related, but I didn't realize, I'm like, did this one medication hit?
Now, you're right. Pathology does preserve items, but it doesn't preserve all the items, and you can't check the body to see if you can't go back and say, man, I missed something. I need to check the body and see if that right before she was, or after she was dumped, let's say Stefan went back and performed necrophilia on her. You can't check that anymore. So yeah, I do understand what pathology does, what the medical examiner does, the tests that they take, the liver, they go in the liver and they go in the stomach contents, but a lot of times people exhume the body because they miss something. That can't happen anymore.
Hit her too hard because we gave it to her late. I called poison control. I needed to see what would happen. Because at this point, I think I had gotten Stefan to admit that he gave her a second dose of the sleeping meds as well, because he thought I had given it to her in the first place.
Okay.
But that was with hydroxyzine. I didn't know anything about THC, the marijuana.
I'm just asking you.
Oh.
I'm asking if you remember having that conversation. There is a conversation on your phone about you were relaying that Madeline said that she suspected that it was different, bigger pills, and you relayed that to Stefan and had a conversation with him. And if you don't remember it because it was a year ago, that's fine. My next question is, you have 2 female roommates?
Yes.
And one of them has a child, a son that sleeps part-time over there?
Yes.
And so my understanding is they're kind of, it's like I don't know what to call it, like a bed and breakfast. There's numbers on the doors upstairs.
I don't know. To make it easier for the roommates, I just labeled each bedroom.
So they're in 2 and 3.
To make it easier for the roommates and to tell the roommates, hey, go to room number 4 to my daughter's room. Now, guilty, Wednesday Ophelia says, guilty of crime. Any chance of your Elijah Vu friends? They are doing that, but I don't want to send you off to it. Wednesday Ophelia, I do see you. I hear you. And I can tell you right now that the Two Rivers police did find according to the sources, they found a small child with a diaper on that could be Elijah Vu. So early indications point to belonging to missing 4-year-old Elijah Vu, who's been missing since February 20th. There's a diaper that was found with the skull and other remains, which were reported to be a human. Authorities are continuing to work towards positively identifying the remains. I got you covered. The camp is located near the home of Katrina Bauer and her boyfriend Jesse Vang, who were last seen to see Elijah Vu alive. So they are looking. I do want you to see this picture. It's Elijah Vu, and they just need to identify the remains, which I need to see the remains identified before I say anything that it is Elijah Vu. But I'll send you somewhere after Wednesday where you could see that someone did just update it. All right. I just don't want to take away from Maddie, but I do want to give you guys breaking news. They possibly found Elijah Vu's remains.
Yes.
All right. Now, bedroom number 4. At one point, you told the police that your sister was staying with you, and that's why the sleeping arrangements were as they were. Was your sister ever staying with you, or did I misunderstand what you said?
No, my sister wasn't staying with me.
Okay. So let me ask you this. At what point did Madeline's bedroom kind of become the living room? When did that setup start?
I think as soon as a few months into us moving back into that townhouse.
And when would that have been?
Let's say June of.
I'll get you.
Sometime in 2022, but I'm not sure when.
Okay. It's my understanding that it's December of 2022 that you and Stefan kind of break up.
Yes.
but he still remains in the townhome.
Yes.
Why is that?
So even though you're broken up, I still consider him one of my best friends.
Yep.
I wanted to give him the opportunity.
They were broken up and she still considered Stefan Sterns one of her best friends, folks. Still not saying that mother did this, nothing. And I do love the detective's voice too. You're welcome for the gifted membership, KJ. Let's keep going. Thank you, Arizona. Good vibes. I'm glad you do love my page. I hope you check out my community page. I post fairly often, whether you want to see my pictures or not.
Opportunity to live there, and he had gotten a job at Disney and was doing well.
Okay.
And I didn't want him to continue to lose that because he had been struggling for a long time to get a job or do anything with his own mental health issues.
Okay.
So I just wanted to give him a chance to like do something, be something. So
Did he pay rent?
yes,
How much rent did he pay?
$600 a month.
All right.
Oops, sorry.
No footsies.
Like long way.
So in December of 2022,
I don't know if you guys caught that before, but Jenn Soto must have tapped the officer with their foot or something, and he said no footsies, and she just laughs, just absolutely laughs. Ugh, justice for Maddie. Let's keep going. Deception detective knows that we're doing this for a good cause, and he knows that if the public opinion stays this way and we don't give up and we don't say, oh, Jen's got immunity, we're done, she's done, let's forget about it and just let Jennifer, she's must not be guilty if the police say so. No, let's keep on. Let's keep the hashtag arrest Jenn Soto now, please.
kind of when the breakup happens. Prior to that, what were the sleeping arrangements in your home? Was he sleeping in your bedroom as a couple?
Yes.
So who's in bedroom number 4, if anybody?
I think that room remained empty for a while. For a little bit, there was another roommate there, but it remained empty for the most part.
And were your female roommates already there in 2 and 3?
Yes.
Why doesn't Madeline have that bedroom 4?
I wanted her to have bedroom 4, but my dad really wanted rent. That whole unit that I live in is owned by my father.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Do you pay your father anything to live there, or does he just handle the collecting the rent from your rentees, lessees, whatever they are?
I pay him rent as well.
Okay. What do you pay for the rent?
My portion of the rent was $400 a month.
All right. And what do the 2 female roommates pay?
$850 and $650.
Okay. Prior to Madeline having her own bedroom set up in the living room, where was she sleeping in that townhome?
In my bed with me.
Okay. And this is during a time frame when you were together with Stefan. So is it the 3 of you every night?
Well, when we had first moved in, it was just me and Maddie. So it was just me and her on the bed. Then I think we eventually got her own bedroom. Stefan moves in eventually.
Yep.
And then, yeah, at that point, it does become the 3 of us on the bed.
Okay. So Madeline's 12 and she has her own bedroom. And how often is she sleeping in her own bed alone?
Hardly. She doesn't like sleeping alone. And she doesn't like the living room. It's too big, too quiet. She says it'd be too dark and that there would be spiders. She would see spiders, so.
So you say hardly. Were there ever nights where she just slept alone in her bed? Or is it 100%? Because there's a difference between hardly ever and 100% to me.
Yep. Okay, now this is where the officer starts to get upset. There's things that you start to see that you can tell that he's pissed off about. Listen up, pay close attention, right, Serenity? And hashtag burn in hell, Jenn Soto.
If she ever slept on that bed, it was like once.
Okay. All right. So now you've broken up with Stefan in December of 2022, right?
Mm-hmm.
he's still paying rent and he's there full time in bedroom number 4. Is that where he goes after you break up?
No, he stayed in my room for a few months. We'd broken up, but we weren't sure how to discuss it with Maddie because it was the middle of the school year, and I didn't want to affect her in any way. So we just played it off, acted like everything was normal and fine for the first 6 months. And then eventually she caught on. And then once she did, we admitted to her that we were broken up. And then, at that point is when he moved up to bedroom 4.
Okay. And once he moved up to bedroom 4, were there instances where Madeline would sleep alone upstairs with him?
I'm going to say.
Now, Maddie would have been very happy. And I think that she did try her best to tell anybody that she was being abused, essayed. Okay. I don't want to say that. I want to say it, but I don't. Maddie was being abused. And I think that she wanted somebody to find out, anybody to find out. And I wouldn't doubt if she did tell her mom at one point and her mom already knew and let it continue to happen. Absolutely disgusting. I'm disgusted by her mom at this point. All right, let's go.
I want you to think carefully before you answer, because obviously we've gone through your phone and we've seen all the conversations that you've had with Stefan. So it's clear that that's occurring. So I'm giving you the chance to answer the question.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how many times it's happened.
Okay.
All right, let's listen up close. The officer's starting to get a little bit frustrated. And if this lady had complete immunity and she could just walk around and do whatever she wanted, he wouldn't say, answer this carefully. Think about what you're saying. All right? Think about
Why
that.
are you allowing that to occur?
I saw Stefan as someone that I completely trusted with my life, my child's life. I thought he had cared for her as a father would. He had been in her life for more than half of it, playing the father role. I thought he cared for her the way I did.
Bullshit.
Now, does there come a point in time in 2023 where you've kind of had enough of roommate ex-boyfriend Stefan and ask him to hit the road?
Yes.
And is that fair to say it was like October?
Maybe like the end of October, because then I gave him all of November and told him he had to be out by December 1st, kind of thing. But yeah, that sounds about right.
And then did you kind of ask him to leave a month earlier and it was a source of arguments?
Yes.
Okay. So now at this point in time when he's being asked to leave, have you had any conversation with Maddie that mommy isn't together with Stefan anymore and this is kind of the ways of the world? Did you have that conversation with her?
She had, by June, she figured it out already, so she knew we weren't together or anything like that. So by December, yeah, she had already known he was leaving, and
okay.
But that was okay.
Why is he coming back to visit after he's out?
Yep.
We're still friendly with each other at this point. Christmas is coming up.
What she meant to say is she still wanted money from Stefan Sterns. She still wanted someone to take care of Maddie and her not to have to do anything. What she meant to say was her and Stefan Sterns had a pact and she let him do whatever he wanted to her daughter. She knew what was going on, in my opinion. This is absolutely disgusting. Yeah, big sigh again. Let's listen to what she has to say. What's up, Scary Sherry? Good to see you. DCF or DCFS or CPMP does suck. Wednesday, Ophelia, want to know if Jenn once had pretty privilege. That's a good question. I never seen it. And whoever just came in chat a while ago asking about immunity not being, if it was confirmed, there's immunity for this particular interview, but if she lies, it can be used against her, and the officers could find evidence in the statements, dig them up, and charge her on them. So she's not immune forever. It's derivative use immunity, which means that they're giving her immunity for this interview to correct what she said in the other interviews where they know she's lied. They're not going to arrest her. All right. So she's never stopped lying, and they could arrest her for that right now, for the lies that she told, but they're not going to. That's the only kind of immunity she has is right now if she doesn't lie.
And we wanted to spend Christmas together. So he comes up for a few days during Christmas. And then he does visit a few more times after that, but for the day. And it's to pick up packages. He keeps getting mail delivered to my house, packages. So he just comes up and picks them up.
And when he comes to visit after he's been kind of kicked out, is he paying rent, or how is this working, or is he just coming to visit?
He's just coming to visit.
Is your father making any arrangements to rent bedroom number 4? Because this is his income that he's losing.
Yeah, we had it. We had like an ad posted to see if we can get any renters. So we were trying to rent it out, but then we had to stop.
And what happens if you had ended up renting room number 4? Is Stefan going to still come up and visit you and sleep in your bed?
I don't know. I hadn't even thought of it at that point.
At one point, you told investigators that Stefan was quote unquote stuck down there until they could afford for him to come back. Were there plans for him to come back?
We had discussed him coming back and living with me. We weren't sure if temporarily or like for me to help him out with the place for a little bit before he can find his own place and move out. Or we were also considering talking about living together as like a companionship. With my best friend who's helping me out with my child.
Because
It's her best friend that was helping her out with their child, and yet she was brutally assaulted for years. Maddie was a tiny little girl getting ANAL. Okay, that's just as clear as I could be about that. And then she was her life was taken away. All when she had trusted this guy that was going to move back in and she was going to help him out. And she still doesn't say, I can't believe he did this to me. None of that. Yeah, companionship, gross. I agree.
You told investigators that a lot of the reason your relationship fizzled off with Stefan was that your antidepressants.
That. I hate her. Come on.
Airline person that had gone into the bathroom and placed their camera on the toilet to film. And I remember thinking, I don't want Maddie.
This is the part where the officer asks her about her saying that Maddie can't go to Tyler's because she doesn't want someone placing a camera under the door and filming her. But yet Stefan was doing this. And the officer asks, why would you say that? What does that mean? Oh, yeah, people were talking about that. Let me go a little bit back.
Touches Maddie or tries shit or films her under the bathroom. You remember sending that text?
No.
No, I don't remember.
No idea. I don't know why I would have texted that.
Lie.
June 16th of last year, about 9:30 p.m.
Oh, actually, I can't actually think back to that.
Okay. What?
I think around the time that Maddie was going to fly out to Houston, there had been an airline person that had gone into the bathroom and placed their camera on the toilet to film. And I remember thinking, I don't want Maddie, I'm afraid of Maddie being alone on a plane because what if an attendant does that to her? Says, hold on, let me fix something in the bathroom. And in reality, they're setting up the camera because this did happen to a girl.
Why?
So I want to say it may have been concerns over that.
Okay. Now, June 16th of last year at 9:30 p.m. and 27 seconds, you texted Stefan this: Maddie's no longer sleeping with me. I can't risk it. What does that mean?
I have no idea.
How often was Maddie sleeping with you?
What can't she risk if Maddie's sleeping with her? What can't she risk? And what's up, Athena Van? Good to see you. This is the biggest part, one of the biggest part. Damn, she's busted. Also, the bathroom. The roommate said about Stefan Sterns filming the bathroom. She said that happened to some girl. Come on, guys. You guys know this. You absolutely know this.
Often, all the time.
Well, you keep on saying often versus all the time. Was it 100% of the time or not 100% of the time?
If she wasn't with my mom and she was with me, then yeah, she was sleeping with me.
And if she's at mom, she's 100% of the time sleeping with mom? Your mom?
With my mom, or she does have
Yes, she was.
her own room, I guess. Like there's another spare room she could use, but for the most part, she prefers to sleep with my mom.
Okay. Now, my understanding is that you had some sort of period tracker that you kept track of Madeline's period with?
I had a calendar app that I would write what days she would get her period, yeah.
All right, y'all. This is the big deal here about Maddie's period. All right. Karen999 super chat. She has found out he's assaulted and taken Maddie's life, and now she's referring to him as her best friend, partner in crime, point blank, period. And all the other things that she's still sticking up for Stefan Sterns about. Let's listen to this, tracking Maddie's period.
Obviously, Madeline doesn't have a job, so she's not going out and buying the products that she would need if she had her period, right? You would have to do that for her?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
So do you remember her using any of those products at all in February? Because I assume you take the trash out, or does she take the trash out, or how does all this work?
I take the trash out. In February, no, I didn't notice her using any of her feminine hygiene products.
Did you have any conversations with her about that?
No, but I didn't notice until after everything.
Because it would have been due like at the beginning of February, and this all happens at the end of February, so she's almost due again in March. So you never had any conversations with her about not having her period at the beginning of February?
No, she's had other periods that have been missed or like super late, so I just assumed this was going to be one of those situations again.
Okay.
But no, I didn't.
Did you ever discuss her periods or lack of periods with Stefan?
I don't think so.
It's my understanding that Maddie had to take Miralax. I'm familiar with that myself because of my daughter when she was little. So she had constipation issues?
Yeah.
Would it ever cause her discomfort, physical pain, bleeding?
Yes.
And how are you aware of that?
She would tell me. There have been moments. So we've gone to doctor's appointments. They've run a lot of tests on her. They told me why her body is doing what it's doing. But she's shown me if there was blood, or if she's in the bathroom and she just can't go, like it's stuck. She showed me that too. So
did she ever
Not
specifically seek treatment for tears or bleeding or anything due to her bowel movements?
Of course not.
no, I don't think so. Tears or anything like that. No. I don't think there was ever a tear.
On February 26th, the whole purpose.
Oh, there was a tear, Jenn Soto. There was a tear. She just said there was never a tear. There was a lot of tears there. Trust that. A 220-pound, 6'2" man doing that on a regular basis to your tiny daughter. There were tears. There's the change.org charge Jennifer Soto for the wrongful and of Maddie. Please sign that. Continue to sign that. We only need a couple more signatures to move that forward to the next one. Absolutely disgusting.
Of Stefan coming and taking Madeline to school was so that you could get some sleep. You had missed your medication Saturday night, so on and so forth, right?
Yes.
Is there any particular reason Stefan couldn't have driven your car to take Madeline to school and therefore not embarrass her and he could just drop her off normally?
Yes, but because he's not on my car insurance, I was very nervous to let him drive my car.
You did let him drive your car after this occurred though, right?
Yes, but he was very insistent because he wanted to go look for Maddie and he had a spare on his car.
So now we know that he took Jen's car that night out to go visit Maddie's body again. Foxy Amazon, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. A redacted text between Maddie and Stefan Sterns, and you say, Ari, pick coins. I don't know what that means, but if you want to address that in chat, that'd be great. Thank you.
He had a flat, so he couldn't drive his car. So he just really wanted to go out. So I just let him, but I wasn't comfortable with it.
During your previous interviews, and you did it once today, you kind of interchanged I, we, or Stefan dropping Madeline off at school. Did you see Madeline at all on February 26th of 2024, that Monday?
No.
Do you know anything about how she died?
No.
Did Stefan tell you anything about how she died?
No.
Did Stefan tell you about his plans to go back down to Northport in your car that Wednesday morning? Got any questions, Mark? I'm getting close.
I'm going to jump through because I was making notes as we were going on. So how frequently did Stefan come up here after he moved back to Northport?
I'm going to say
How many times total do you think he came back here?
2 to 3 times.
Do you remember if those were around specific dates?
One was like the week of Christmas.
Come on,
I can't
baby.
remember when the other one was.
Was Stefan in town the week or two prior to this last time he came?
All right. So as he's asking these questions, he already has a timeline with the phone, with text messages and pictures and everything. He's asking these questions for a reason. Pray every day. You're right. We need to pray every day, especially when we hear something like this going on. $3 super sticker. I'm going to say it's a dancing avocado. Thank you. Why the pauses? Because she's trying to think of what to say. She can get charged if they catch her lying. There's no full immunity on this. It's derivative, which means limited.
I don't remember. It's possible, but I don't remember. Everything is becoming a blur.
Yeah, it's a blur.
Do you remember sending him a text message?
Do you remember when Stefan Sterns said that night was a blur? He said that night was a blur. I took my medication, whatever that was called. Everything was a blur the night Maddie her life was taken. And this is what she's using too. Thank you, Sadie's mama. Happy birthday month to you.
Is asking if he can babysit Maddie while you go have lunch with your friend.
This was a few weeks before. I remember going out a few weeks before. I don't remember asking him to babysit. I don't know where he was.
Did you ever go to lunch with your friend? And he babysat her?
I did go to lunch with my friend, but I don't think he was here. I think Maddie stayed home alone for a few hours.
Okay. When you mentioned Maddie caught on about you guys being broke up, how did that happen? What did she say or?
I forgot. Me and Stefan were having a conversation and she goes, "Are you guys broken up?" And we kind of looked at her and we're like, "Why do you ask?" She goes, "Because you guys are kind of acting like you're broken up. You guys haven't hugged and kissed in a long time." Okay. So we just
How do you think she felt about that?
Fine. She didn't act sad or happy or anything. You're just like, whatever.
Oh, all of a sudden?
Right. Now you mentioned to me before too that you found her phone on her dresser in like her little bedroom area.
Oh.
Does she have
Oh, okay. Thank you, Foxy Amazon, for the $2 super chat. Coins used to represent the embryo size and her early pregnancy. Thank you. That will come out soon if that's the case. Thank you for clarifying that. She is like 12 mentally, but I'm not going to give her that pass.
Have a specific spot where she plugs in her phone to charge. How does she charge her phone?
So on her side of my bed, she's got a long charger. She'll connect it there to charge.
That.
Don't know how she charged it that night though. Don't know if she took her charger and moved it to the room upstairs. Not sure.
How do you charge your phone?
I charge my
Right.
phone with my charger next to me on my side of the bed.
Okay, is it one that you plug in or
The magnetic one.
okay? Now, when you go to bed at night, is there any kind of routine that you do with your phone? If you're texting, look on TikTok or whatever, and you go to bed, you just set your phone down and go to sleep, or what's that routine like?
That's fine.
I'll TikTok until I start dozing off, and then I'll put my phone on the charger, make sure my alarm's on, and then just lay down, close my eyes, and hope not to think of too much, just fall asleep.
Yeah,
Okay,
don't think
that
of too
night,
much.
Saturday or Sunday night, when you guys spending this half hour of time together, was all that you were doing was talking about gifts and counting her money, or were you guys doing anything else?
Just asking her for more details about the party and to tell me.
She's lying there. She's clearly lying there, folks. She just asking about the money, or asking about the money. She's lying. He's trying to figure out what else was going on based on the text messages. Yeah, Petty Mason. Thank you, Jane Doe. I love that name. Thank you so much for fighting for Maddie. We all are fighting for Maddie here. So thank you all, crime crew. Please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and share. Thank you.
Like what I missed. She seemed like she had a really good time.
When you got home from work that day, where was everybody?
I think everyone was in my room, hanging out in my room.
Okay, everybody meaning.
Maddie and Stefan were in my room.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Now it's obvious that you and Stefan communicate via text message and phone calls and stuff like that. What is Google Meet?
What is Google Meet? That is like Google's version of FaceTime. So just face chatting.
Okay.
Oh, she knows something. Thank you, Mr. Beer, for the gifted crime, gifted guilty of crime membership. I hope somebody gets it that really wants a membership. She pisses me off too, but you guys are doing amazing, and you've been here the whole time. We have 831 people in chat. You're engaging, so please continue to do so.
Video chatting.
Okay. When
Yes.
when her birthday party was planned, was this planned before you got your job or after?
The birthday party?
Good question.
I think it was planned before. Because once I saw my schedule and I saw that it was during a training day, and I wasn't going to call out. I considered rescheduling the party, but my family was insistent to just keep it that day.
Oh, I'm sure.
All right, so Stefan moves out of his room, and I think he mentioned that your dad had plans on renting that room again to somebody else. Is that right?
Yeah.
How was that room set up? How was Stefan's room set up after he moved out?
Pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. The bed was in the same location. The
Okay.
TV, the dresser, the desk, and the mini fridge. Everything stayed in the same location.
Okay, was the bed, and did it have comforter, blankets, and all that stuff on it, or?
When
Yes.
he moved out, everything was empty. There was a mattress protector cover on it. But I had clean sheets and clean blankets to put on, like they're available. So
Where were they available?
in the closet.
Okay.
And I did, yeah. Now that I don't know they were there.
Do you
You guys all know that he's asking these questions for a specific reason, right? He's trying to get something, and she hasn't given much of anything except more lies that we can put with the other interviews and say, oh, last time she said she didn't know, or last time she said this, or last time. That's all she's given us so far. She hasn't said that mother, he told me he was going to do this and instead he did this. She still hasn't said anything about Stefan Sterns being involved in it. Keep that in mind. She hasn't given up much.
know if he made the bed?
I don't know, but I'm going to assume he. I don't know.
What did the blankets look like that would be used to make that bed?
They would be white cotton linen sheets with, they're white, but they're white stripes, different shades of white. So white stripes going down it. That was a fitted cover, then a sheet, and then the pillowcases. And there should have been like a warm blanket in the closet somewhere.
The same color, white or?
Maybe gray.
Okay. When you say there's pillowcases, how many pillows were on the bed?
She don't know.
I'm not sure. I know that we had taken things out of that room before. I don't know if we
Of
used
course
those
you did.
pillows. I'm not sure what pillows were up there.
Okay. Did you ever go into the room after you discovered that she was missing? Did you go upstairs to that bedroom? No.
No.
So when you go
Never
to
went
sleep
in
in
the
your
room.
room
Bullshit.
and you're either with Maddie or without Maddie or with Stefan, is your door open, closed, lights on, lights off?
When I go to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
so I have a cat. I can't shut the door. I have to leave it cracked.
Mhm.
So it stays cracked, with a little like a door stopper
Mhm.
behind it, so it doesn't open all the way because my cat will just knock it up over. Yeah, but we sleep with the door cracked.
Okay, lights on, lights off.
Lights off with a YouTube video
Right.
playing in the background, playing rain sounds.
Okay, would
I
that
hate her.
would the screen be illuminated, or is it something where a screen like a phone, where the screen goes black and it still plays?
It goes black, yeah. So.
Okay. Do you remember it happened that night if you were listening to those YouTube videos or?
Probably was. I listen to it every night, so I probably was.
Does it shut off automatically?
Around like 4 or 5 a.m., but then I'll notice and I'll press play again.
Okay. Is it fair to say that you're easily woken up or no? By sounds like that or?
Not sure I'm easily woken up. I don't know.
Now, the purpose of you telling or having Maddie sleep with Stefan upstairs is because you told me before that you needed a good night's sleep.
She sure did.
If you needed this kind of sleep previously to when Stefan wasn't there, what would happen?
You mean if Stefan wasn't there and I needed this good night's sleep?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, bitch.
It depends. If I had missed my meds the way I missed them that night and I wasn't feeling, or I was feeling just how I was feeling.
All right. She can't even answer this question. She just tripped herself up. The officer told her what to say. He's like, you needed a good night's sleep. Now tell me what you did when Stefan wasn't there. I can't remember. That's a perfect time to intervene because that's all she says. Thank you so much for the £9.99 super sticker. We're going to say it's an avocado again. Yay. Drug addict. Yeah, drug addict. I did a video of the drugs that she was on. So go back when you're done with this and go watch my video. It's a pretty short video, but it gives you a good idea of all the drugs that Jennifer Soto was on.
I'm not sure if I would have had her have her sleep with me on the other side of the bed, or if I would have sent her upstairs to the guest room. But she sleeps like a monkey. She rolls. She'll start on one end of the bed and end up on top of me by the end of the night. And she's a gymnast, I guess. But
You're a bitch.
Have you ever sent her upstairs to sleep?
no, not for any of these reasons.
Have you ever sent her upstairs to sleep by herself?
Alone.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I'm gonna need to wrap this up.
Okay, one more question. Does anybody use your phone other than you?
No, except for the day that we were sitting in front of my house and forensics was in the house. That was the only time I've ever let anyone use my phone, and that was Stefan. Stefan had my phone.
What about, do you wear an Apple Watch?
Yes.
Does it track any of your movements or anything like that you know of? Do you sleep with your watch on?
No, I hardly ever put it on, honestly.
Honestly.
All right. I don't have anything else.
Do you have anything real quick, Danielle?
No.
Do you have anything that you think we should know, Matt?
Unfortunately, no.
Good down there?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, it's 10:06 a.m.
All right, 10:06 a.m. They're wrapping this up. That's her lawyer wanting to wrap that up. She doesn't have anything that she wants to tell them. And I'm going to need to wrap this up. Important AF interview. Thanks for the attorney telling us she's digging her own grave. That's exactly what I heard too. I can't believe that after your daughter's passed away, that makes me actually want to cry thinking about that with my daughter. I just had a beautiful day with my daughter yesterday and watching Beetlejuice and taking her shopping. And I just love my daughter so much. And to hear this lady after her daughter's passed away to say even that about her, oh, she's like a monkey. I guess she's like a gymnast. I just want to cry, y'all. Like, that's just so disheartening. Stefan Sterns is wearing a Fitbit. Can't wait for that data. Foxy Amazon, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Thank you, Athena, for being here. Thank you guys all. Let's listen to the last of this and then we'll wrap it up. I love you guys all. Thank you for all the support the whole entire time, getting me through this, and all of you guys. Oh, this makes me disgusted, guys.
We will conclude this investigative interview with you, Ms. Soto. Thank you. I'm sorry.
All right. We made it through this. I had to come on here today, even though it's a Sunday. You guys did an amazing job of staying here with me and everything you guys did, gifting the memberships, just keeping me in line with what I'm saying instead of getting so worked up. But yes, we can change the subject for a second. I love you, Randy B, one of my faves. Emma Joy, Beetlejuice was absolutely amazing. It was so funny. When my son came, my son sat on this side, my wife sat here, my daughter sat there. I've never seen my daughter so content in a movie ever. She didn't talk once. She sat there and drank her Slurpee and ate her popcorn. My son and I laughed the whole time, and we kept comparing the Beetlejuice to the 1980s version. Anyway, I had to get myself out of that funk. I love you all. Please do hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. I love you too. Yours truly and everybody else. Let's try to get our minds out of this and go hang out with our family on a Sunday. I will be back for you guys all tomorrow. I love you. I'll be making some more videos, putting them out there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you all. Good night.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance.